I always feel there are two kind of bets you can make. One, you just state your opinion. The other is you put money on it. Well, right now, Wall Street is putting money on Republicans winning big this midterm election year. In fact, take a look at this. Back in 2010, Democrats received over half the total donations from the financial industry. That includes insurance, real estate, brokerage firms, banks, etc. Republicans, not nearly as much. This time around, Republicans are getting 62% of the total donations, Democrats seeing a big drop. All right, back with Noel Nickpour on that alone. You could use a contrarian argument and say maybe it might not bode well for them this go around, but you don't think that's the case.
Well, I looked up, if you will look at from 2012 to 2014, hedge funds, commercial banks, securities and investment community are all giving heavy to Republicans. And I think that they have seen the ramifications of Obama's bad policies. Think about it, like in 2012, you had the Obamacare. You remember the
sure.
Wall Street people that were clamoring around out there?
Well, there's still kind of phony worms here. Not Scott Martin, who's one of the classiest guys I know, but he is giving hope for the next generation. But the scummy industry you represent, Scott, I do notice, I'm kidding, they glom on to whoever looks ahead. And right now, it is Republicans who look ahead. So with all deference to Noel, I think she's right that they don't like a lot of the policies that have been foisted on them. But they're just hooking up to what they perceive to be the winner.
Yeah, and doesn't it go into the category of what took you so long to figure that out? I mean, if you think about Wall Street, you'd be like, oh, sure, they support because they've been demonized by Democrats and they've had a lot of regulation on them. But guess what? Wall Street's been largely Democratic. Hillary Clinton has a lot of support on Wall Street, or she did at least until maybe recently. So, you know, one of the issues, Neil, is that the Republicans are getting back that support. Now, is it going to really be worth anything? I mean, I guarantee you the Democrats are going to catch up in this. And frankly, regulation came out of the financial crisis, which was under a Republican president. So everybody's to blame here, but it's good to see this come back a little bit more to balance.
That's an excellent point. And Hadley, I would just say, if I'm the banking industry, the financial industry, say what I will of villain Obama, he has had my back and kept me too big to fail and made sure that I was protected and coddled. So I don't know if they'd be very quick to abandon the gravy train.
Absolutely. There's not a party of big business. There's just big government in bed with big business. So if you're betting on a winning team this go round, I think it's, you know, if you don't like all this big money in politics, you don't like all the Wall Street contributions, just consider that limited government is the only way to keep big business out of politics. We've got to limit the government's power and the invasion of cronyism into both parties, and that, I think, is a path towards success.
But, Hadley, do you worry or do you think that the businesses are thinking ahead when it comes to Hillary Clinton, that if her prospects don't look good, they abandon her because they did very well under her husband's presidency, and they might long for those days?
Well, you know, Neil, a lot of these companies and industries are hedging their bets. They may give a lot to Republicans, but they're also giving to Democrats. So
that's right.
They're looking out for themselves either way. But we ought to pay attention.
Disproportionately, they are giving early on to Hillary. Now, that could change, to your point. But, Noel, that only is because there doesn't seem to be any other Democratic alternative for the time being. I'm arguing there will be, but what do you think of that?
Actually, there may be. You know, I was completely negative on it for a long time, and with
I think you doubted my birth.
Never.
No.
But I think with things that I'm seeing right now, with the kind of the thrill is gone with Hillary Clinton. I mean, it seems like that she's out there doing things, and it's just kind of a moot point.
Well, what do you know? Do you track where the money goes, which I find fascinating? And I think you told me, I'm paraphrasing here, it's not that she's losing the money, it's just not coming in as fast.
No, it's not. And, you know, Charlie Gasparino had said one time, you know, she's not going to have difficulty in raising money. He's true on that. He's right on that. But that's not to say that the GOP, look, I thought it was interesting that commercial banks right now this year in 2014 gave $3 million so far to Democrats and $7 million to GOP. That's double. And if you look from 2006 to 2014, they've given higher to Republican candidates the whole time, which I thought was really interesting. So if you break down the Wall Streeters, you know, if you break down hedge funds, investment securities, and commercial banks, one sector, commercial banks, which I thought was interesting, altogether from 06 to 14 have consecutively given higher amounts to Republican candidates, which is good.
Presidential candidates? Interesting. Okay. Guys, stick around. When we come back, lessons learned and not forgotten. The